Qatar 2022. For the first time in history, a FIFA World Cup was played in the middle of winter, in the heart of the desert, under futuristic air-conditioned stadiums, surrounded by the winds of the Arabian Gulf. And this would become a World Cup that people will remember forever. Not only because of the goals, not only because of the trophy, but because of the moments that changed football history. Today, we're looking back at that incredible journey, from the biggest shocks of the group stage, to Africa's greatest fairy tale, to the tears of legends, and finally to a final that many consider the greatest World Cup final ever played. Everything began on November 22, 2022. Argentina arrived in Qatar as one of the favorites to win the tournament, led by Lionel Messi and carrying an incredible unbeaten streak of 36 matches. When Messi converted an early penalty against Saudi Arabia, it looked like business as usual. Another comfortable win, another step toward glory. But history had other plans. Just minutes into the second half, Saudi Arabia scored twice. The football world stood still. One of the biggest underdogs in the tournament had just defeated one of the strongest teams on the planet. It wasn't just the biggest shock of Qatar 2022. It was one of the greatest upsets in football history. But Saudi Arabia wasn't finished surprising the world. A few days later, Japan faced Germany, the 2014 world champions, a football giant, a team that once destroyed Brazil 7-1 on home soil. Germany took the lead early and controlled most of the match. But Japan refused to surrender. Driven by discipline, courage, and relentless determination, they just struck twice in the second half. In just a few minutes, everything changed. Japan defeated Germany 2-1, and once again, the world was forced to look at Asian football differently. Yet the surprises continued. On the final day of the group stage, South Korea faced Portugal. They fell behind early, but they never stopped fighting. Deep into stoppage time, Son Heung-min picked up the ball and charged forward from his own half. One decisive pass, one final opportunity. Wang Hee-chan raced through on goal and scored. An entire nation erupted. That goal sent South Korea into the knockout stage in dramatic fashion. As the group stage ended, many believed the fairy tales were over. They were wrong, because the greatest story of all was only beginning. Morocco, representing Africa, representing the Arab world, a team few expected to go far, yet they shocked everyone. They eliminated Spain on penalties, they defeated Portugal in the quarterfinals, and became the first African nation in history to reach a World Cup semifinal. The streets of Rabat, the streets of Casablanca, and millions across Africa and the Arab world celebrated together. Morocco wasn't just winning for themselves, they were carrying the hopes of an entire continent. But on the other side of Morocco's celebration stood heartbreak. When the final whistle blew against Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo slowly walked down the tunnel. Tears rolled down the face of one of football's greatest players. Perhaps he understood what everyone else already knew. His dream of winning the World Cup was over, forever. It became one of the most emotional images of the tournament. Soon after, another giant fell. Brazil, one of the favorites to lift the trophy, a team filled with stars, Neymar, Vinicius Jr., Casemiro. When Neymar scored in extra time against Croatia, Brazil looked destined for the semifinals. But Croatia never stopped believing. A late equalizer changed everything. The match went to penalties, and Brazil was eliminated. The image of Neymar sitting on the pitch in tears became a symbol of football's cruelty. But Qatar 2022 wasn't only about heartbreak. It was also the stage where stars were born. Cody Gakpo announced himself to the world with crucial goals for the Netherlands. Richarlison produced one of the most beautiful goals of the tournament with his stunning bicycle kick against Serbia. And Luka Modric, at 37 years old, continued to inspire Croatia with his brilliance and leadership. Then came one of the craziest matches of the tournament. Argentina versus the Netherlands. A quarterfinal filled with tension, drama, and chaos. Argentina led 2-0. The game looked over. Then, in the 101st minute, the Netherlands scored an unbelievable equalizer from a brilliantly executed free kick. The stadium exploded. Players argued. Tempers flared. Yellow cards flew everywhere. In the end, Argentina survived through a penalty shootout. It was the moment that showed just how badly Messi's team wanted the World Cup. In the semifinal, Argentina faced Croatia, and this was where Messi delivered one of the greatest moments of his career. He received the ball on the right wing, facing Josko Jaro, one of the tournament's best defenders. Messi turned, accelerated, glided past him, keeping the ball glued to his feet before delivering a perfect assist for Julian Alvarez. It was a reminder to the world. Messi was still Messi, still a footballing genius. And then came the final. Argentina versus France. Messi versus Mbappé. The past against the future, a legend against his heir. For more than 70 minutes, Argentina dominated. They led 2-0. Many believed the match was over, but Kylian Mbappe had other ideas. In less than 2 minutes, he scored twice. The score was suddenly 2-2. The football world could hardly believe what it was witnessing. Extra time, Messi scored 3-2 Argentina, then Mbappe scored again, 3-3, a World Cup final hat trick, an achievement almost beyond imagination. Then came the defining moment, the 123rd minute. Randall Kolo Muani was through on goal. Only the goalkeeper stood in his way. The entire world expected a goal, but Emiliano Martinez had one final miracle left. He spread himself and made the save, a save that may have changed football history. If that ball had gone in, everything could have been different. The match went to penalties. Argentina won. And finally, after years of waiting, after heartbreak, after criticism, after endless pressure, Lionel Messi lifted the FIFA World Cup trophy, the moment millions of fans around the world had waited their entire lives to see. Qatar 2022 was over, but its memories will live forever. Because this was more than just a football tournament. It was where dreams came true, where legends were made, and where history changed forever. The lights of the desert stadiums have gone out. The roar of the crowds has faded, but the moments remain. Messi lifting the trophy, Mbappe scoring a hat-trick in the final, Morocco carrying the dreams of Africa, Saudi Arabia delivering the shock of the century, the tears of Ronaldo, the heartbreak of Neymar, the celebrations, the drama, the emotions that only the World Cup can create. 4 years have passed, and now a new chapter begins. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is here. For the first time ever, 48 nations will compete on football's biggest stage. For the first time ever, 3 countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, will host the tournament together. More matches, more stars, more stories, more unforgettable moments waiting to be written. If you love the World Cup, make sure to subscribe and join us for our World Cup 2026 series. But before you go, tell us in the comments, what is the one moment from Qatar 2022 that you will never forget? Let us know, and we'll see you again at World Cup 2026.